Today I'm going to be discussing the Beatles and their contributions to the music industry. They were a band that formed in 1960s Liverpool, England, and their shared love for American rock and roll allowed them to become known as one of the greatest bands of all time. I've listened to the Beatles since I was a kid, and I just really enjoy their music, and I recently got into their history and how they came to be as a band. The changing members and locations of the Beatles allowed for them to find the correct dynamic and cohesion in the group, which allowed them to become such a great band. They also covered songs from other artists, or they sang the songs that other artists wrote, and along with their own writings, this also allowed them to find their music and what they wanted to sound like as a band. These are the members of the Beatles. The original two members were John Lennon and Paul McCartney. They started performing together in Liverpool in 1957, and George Harrison, right here, joined the band at the end of 1957 as a bassist, and in 1961, after they got their manager, they had gone through many different drummers, but Ringo Starr ended up being the best fit, and he joined the band in 1961. They didn't just stay in Liverpool. They traveled between Liverpool and Hamburg, Germany from 1960 to 1962. But while they were in Liverpool, a record store owner just fell in love with their band, and he started advocating for them and wrote letters to different music companies and sent them their demos, and this really helped boost their popularity, I guess you would say. So they traveled around a lot, which gave them the practice that they needed to become the band that they are now. Beatlemania was a big part of how the Beatles became so popular. They covered lots of well-known songs such as Twist and Shout, and this allowed them the opportunity to play around with their music and figure out what they wanted to sound like as a band. But they also had many songs written by the band, including all of the ones that are on the screen that you see. Some of my favorites are Eleanor Rigby and Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Could just be a me thing, but I think they're really good. So here are some more pictures of the Beatles and their different album covers, and basically their ability to change their members to find the cohesive group that they are today, and also covering other songs and writing their own songs allowed for them to become so famous and allowed for the traction that they gained to keep them going, I guess. And they're really an inspiration because they one day were just four guys performing in Liverpool, and then the next Beatlemania hit and everybody just loved them, and they were world-renowned artists.